and welcome to The Kitchen Knitter. I'm Suzanne, The Kitchen Knitter, and this is my space on YouTube where I share with you what I've been knitting and sewing. Nothing's finished, but I thought I'll do a little bit of an update. So, I can't remember what this is. I'm knitting this. I've got a limited amount of time to do this, so I'm sort of dashing straight in because my husband's gone down to the allotment to water the plants. We've taken on, he has taken on an allotment in the last few weeks and put some plants in, and we're going away for a few days where we're going to Verona. So I wanted to get this in before, and yeah, there's always these last minute things to do. So I'm going to show you my progress on this, which is the Cumulus blouse from Petite Knit, and I'm knitting it on this alpaca, holding 2 strands together, and I've got gauge, and I'm never quite happy with my choices when I go off piste. The pattern calls for there's a few choices, but it's mainly I think this has been knit in silk mohair by Isaiah yarn, held with held with either tin silk mohair, I think that's how you pronounce it, by Sanduscan, or brush lace mohair by Canard. I've never heard of that one. Or the mohair from Knitting with Olive. So anyway, I've gone completely off piste, and I'm using this, and I'm not sure I like it, but I'm never happy with my choices when I substitute a yarn. I just thought I'd got this, and it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful colour. It's a gorgeous dove grey, and the shade is 1032, and it feels lovely. It's gorgeous, but this is how it's knitting up. I've done a sleeve. I'm hoping, and I'm onto the next sleeve. You knit it top down. There's a V-neck which looks really quite low, but then again, I would have to wear it with something underneath because it's quite what's the word, opaque, diaphanous, but you can see through it, so I would have to wear something underneath it anyway. But I don't know, it's just the way it's knitting up, it's just, I think it's very drapey. Maybe once I've blocked it, it might look better shape. I've done the I-cord. See that's really quite big, isn't it? I think in the picture, I think they're meant to be kind of, oh, she's got them pushed up her arm, but I think in the photograph there, they don't come in. They're not, you don't do any decreasing or any more decreasing by the time you're getting to the end of the sleeve, because there's no cuff. There's just this I-cord cast off or bind off. So I've got my holiday nails. Had those done a couple of days ago, and today I went for a pedicure, so I've got my holiday toes as well. I won't show you those. And yeah, and the binder for the bottom. Now you do an I-cord bind off, so it doesn't roll up at the bottom. Now mine's rolling up, so I don't quite know what I've done wrong there. See, I see. I've probably done nothing wrong. It's just it's probably the fabric of this yarn, but I mean, it's lovely and it's a gorgeous colour. I'm just not happy with the way it's kind of got little, it hasn't got any flicks in it, but every now and again you get a little nub. You see, it looks all quite smooth there. Anyway, so that's the progress on that one, and I'm knitting it on 4.5mm needles, so it is very drapey. 2 strands together. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've got more done than not, so I'm not going to unpick it. I'm going to carry on. I keep doing that. I keep not liking what I'm doing for whatever reason, and I thought, no, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to finish it and see what it's like. I mean, it just feels so soft. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and it's living in my redesign bag, which is nice and roomy. This one I think is Project 13. So I'll carry on with that. It's quite warm. It's been quite warm the last couple of evenings to be doing any knitting, but I've been soldiering on. And there's lots of football, which I could not be less interested in. So I can get some knitting done, because I either just zone out, sit there in the sitting room and zone out, or I watch something on my phone, or watch a podcast. So that's that one I'm focusing on. The other thing I'm focusing on, and it is definitely rather warm to be knitting this, is the Hannah sweater, again by Petite Knit. Having a bit of a petite moment at the moment. At the moment, it's lots of moments. Hang on, just there we go. This one is in a very dark, I don't know if you can see that. I've closed the shutters, but I've left one open, and I've been all over. Oh, my husband's back already. I've been all over trying to get the light right on this thing. Anyway, I think you can see what kind of a neck it is, and that's it there, and it's the Hannah sweater. The Hannah sweater V-neck. I believe there's a round neck, but I'm doing that one, and it's quite a loose knit, and I'm using the Call for yarn, which is Atlas, Sanders Garn Atlas, the 1042 grey melange. Melange, that's a nice word, isn't it? Yeah, grey melange. So I'm using that, and again it's on 4mm needles, I think, and that's this. I'm knitting down the back before I start casting on the side. I think you've got to, I can't remember exactly now, but you do some sort of side shaping, and then you cast on for the shoulders. You do, it's for me it's quite a complicated construction. So, but I've started to knit down here. There were no German short rows, just make one right and make one left. So again, that's curling up too. Maybe it's my knitting. So that's another one I'm focusing on, but again, it's quite warm, so I'm not. So that's really all. That's my knitting that I'm focusing on, and I'm keeping the Atlas in my redesign bag. It's all a bit untidy, but that sits nicely on the floor next to my chair. Well, the chair. We don't have chairs in this house. So I've done that, and I've done that one. My husband's going to barge through the door any minute. Excuse me. Right. We can carry on. So I've got a few knitting plans, and because we're going away, I thought I'd take something small to knit, because, you know, hanging around the airport and on the aeroplane. I've never had any trouble taking my knitting onto an aeroplane. I've left, you know, you put everything in those trays, and I've had no problem. Nothing's been taken off me. So I'm going to knit. I've got to take this because I'd like to knit a couple of shawls for the winter. So I'm going to knit this one, which is the Irish shawl from Twin Set and Pearl, and it's designed by Joanna Harriet. And I saw this somewhere, I can't remember where, but they'd knitted it in it. The pattern calls from well, it's not called that design has been knitted in Malabrigo sock and botanical yarn mohair silk. So that's the Malabrigo sock in Sandbank and the botanical yarn mohair silk in Flock Fiber Fest 2024 colourway. So it's a very pretty sort of it's greeny greens and pinks. It's really lovely. But I saw this, I think I saw it on Instagram, I can't remember, and they'd knitted it in Les Family Yarn. Winter in Ironbridge. Dressmaking family yarn, and it's a sock yarn, these gorgeous greys and whites, gorgeous, blowing out a little bit, and then the mohair. This is, well, I say it's mohair, it's not. It's Surrey alpaca and mulberry silk, so quite luxurious, and the colours are absolutely gorgeous. So I thought I would take that and knit it on. I don't know how much knitting I'd get done actually in Verona, but I could knit on the plane going and coming back, and it's a small project. So that's my holiday knitting. The mohair is just superwash merino and nylon, 75-25. It is the most, I don't know if you can see that any better, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So that's my holiday knitting, and a couple of, I did wonder, I want to knit since retiring, what I wear from day to day has changed a little bit. I don't need to, I only went out 3 days a week to work, but I've embraced the dungarees and the jeans. So I'd like to knit a couple of these, and it is the V-neck slip over, and again, petite knit, and I'm knitting it in that colourway, which is Sanduscan Sunday, held with tin silk mohair. So it is, oh, it doesn't actually say what the colour is. I thought it did, but the colour is 2542, and oh, I can't find it. Where is it? They've both got the same colour name, and sometimes on the pattern they say what it's been knitted in, and it doesn't say it in this one unless it says it at the end. Let's have a look. No, it'll be, I think it was on Ravelry, but anyway, that's it. So, and I quite like wearing jeans with a nice white blouse underneath, or a white t-shirt, so I think it would look nice, and those two together kind of make that colour. It's coming out a bit lighter in there. It's a sort of biscuity colour, I would describe that as. So that's one knitting plan. Another one is, there's a basket full of stuff here. I haven't got the yarn for this, but I saw it come up on Instagram. It's a new pattern by Petite Knit, and it is the Petra Polo, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and that is knitted in Sanduscan cashmere, or you can knit it in the Cardiff cashmere, but that particular example is in the cashmere, Sanduscan cashmere, and it's gorgeous. So I'd like to it's such beauty. It doesn't even look as if it's been hand knitted, does it? See, it seems to be a little bit of shaping at the top there, but I thought that would be lovely in the autumn. So that's I haven't got the yarn. I'll have to save up if I want to knit it in cashmere, but it's beautiful, that one. And the other one, which I have got the yarn for, is the no frills sweater, which I think needs no introduction from me. It is, that's it there, and I'm knitting it in that colour too. I'm knitting it in the call for yarn, which is Sanduscan Sunday, and the tin silk mohair, and this colourway is whipped cream, and that's the one on there, and it's whipped cream. So shade 1012 and 1012. Yeah, so that's another plan. I have got some more, but I'm not going to, I won't bore you with all those bits and pieces. So that's the knitting. Embroidery, I showed you my finished time for tea last time. And so this one, the next one, is this one. And it's so pretty. Now there's a few new stitches in there that I have never done. That is, I think it's padded satin stitch, but it's called something else. I think, is it double padded satin stitch? And these roses are, I think, a bullion. There's a split stitch and a whip stitch and all sorts in there. So I think that's going to take me a little bit longer. I'm going to have to do a bit of practice, but it is so pretty, gorgeous. And there's all these are the threads, all beautiful colours. And it resides in my, and that was the, oh no, I'm showing you that's number 5. So, and I would imagine number 6 is on its way. And this is only number 2, so I need to get a wriggle on. So, but it comes in a gorgeous, I mean, I'll show you that. It comes in a gorgeous envelope. I think my envelope's in my basket. So that's an embroidery to start. And then my sewing, my dressmaking. I've made 2 dresses to take on holiday, and they are the hattie dress. And I've done a sleeveless hattie dress, but this one I've gathered, and this is a Merchant and Mills fabric called French clay, and it's lovely. And I've just put bias binding around the armholes. I haven't lined it, and it's a very elegant M&S hanger. I've literally just grabbed these from the wardrobe because I thought, oh, I've not shown it to you, but it is a gorgeous linen, and it's, you know, it's lovely and drapey. It's beautiful. I've used this, well, I think I've used this before, or it was toast. It's very similar, but this is a sort of this is like a caramelly beige. It's lovely. So I'm probably going to, we're going to Verona, and it's my birthday month. It's my birthday month, June, and my husband's taking me to the opera in Verona, and we're going to see La Traviata, and I'm going to wear this dress for that evening. It's going to be about 30 degrees in Verona. I won't need a cardigan. I'll be boiling anyway. So there's that one. And then this one, which again is another hattie dress. Again on an M&S hanger. But this time I've pleated it. And there's a little hack that comes with the pattern. You can download it, and it shows you can do a box pleat, which I've done with 2 pleats at the side, or you can do a small pleat and then smaller pleats each side, and you do it back and front. And this is, I want to say it's called Meadowsweet, and I don't think it is. I think it's Meadow Thistle, but it's a lovely pink and green, nice and summery, and I thought that'd be nice and cool in 30 degrees in Verona. I just do a button and a thread loop. Invariably they get tangled up and I have to snap it to get out of the dress, but it takes 2 minutes to make another one. In the pattern you make you do like a little bit of bias binding and then pull it through and sew it into this before you put it into this as you sew it up. But I never make them big enough, so I think I've only ever done it once and it was a failure, so I just do it that way. So that's 2 dresses for my holidays. I feel like I'm whizzing through this, but sometimes that keeps me focused and I'm not going to waffle on. So my cross stitch, I'm going to have to lean over here because I've moved everything as I was trying to, as I was trying to get the light right. I brought everything to the chair and realised I didn't bring my cross stitch. But I've only been focusing on 2 cross stitches this recently, and I'm very addicted to, oh, I've got this is caught now. It's in my, you've seen this bag before, but I've stitched too close to the zip and the fabric on the inside catches. There we go. I might be able to, can't hear the mutterings of the television. I think my husband's catching up on the news. Right, I've done enough to eke it out. So this sweet little cross stitch is this one. It's Pip and Cottage sewing book, the Animal Crackers series. And there's Pip. I'm doing that, but I will do that because I think that is so lovely. And that's it. And oh, it's still in the hoop. I was working on this yesterday, and that's how much I've done there. But I love it as you're stitching. I tend to do sort of a little bit this side and then a little bit that side. I'm not quite sure of the right way of doing these things. I just go for it, and I love the fact that the character kind of evolves, unfolds. That's the word, unfolds. It's lovely. So this is on. It's all called for. I bought the kit and the threads from Stitchery. And it is all the Weeks Dye Works threads, and it is Fox and Rabbit Saltbush, and I'm doing this on 36 count, 40 count my tired old eyes, but I'm doing this on 36 count, and it's gorgeous. I've got loads left to do the needle book. It's just so pretty. Love it. These are so handy. I got these in a Christmas kit from the Stitchery from Sarah, Stitchery Sisters. It was a Christmas, which I think I've shown you, but I've only just started it. I've done a little bit in the corner and I haven't done any more on it. But this came in it was like, I think it was 12 Days of Christmas, and this was one of the little packages. You get two, and they are brilliant. I'm showing you the awful back of my but you see, you sort of clip it round. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So that's my Pip. So hopefully the next time I podcast, that will be finished. I'll show you the threads. The colours, I mean, it's Stacey Nash. The colours are gorgeous. And the other thing I do, which I found really useful, and I didn't do it when I first started, but I've been doing it on this one, is it's a Stitchery Sisters highlighter, which came in that box, and I mark off what I've done, and it's so helpful. It's brilliant. These are, now you see the lights change because the sun's gone behind a cloud, so these are all the gorgeous colours. That green there is beautiful. I can't remember what colour that is. Cadet or Cadet. Gorgeous, beautiful. And then this one, which is Merlot. Beautiful, obviously wine. I've got all the little threads. They're gorgeous. But so that's my progress on that one. And then, boy, it's gone so warm. It was lovely this afternoon. We went round to my grandson's sports day and took a picnic. It was very warm, but the sun did go in, which kind of made it even muggier. But at least we weren't so scorching. But it was lovely. He's absolutely pooped tonight. He was running around, racing, and egg and spoon and sack race. Lovely. And the other one is I went to a workshop at Stitchery, because having moved, I only live half an hour away. Well, I seem to be a bit closer to the camera now. Kind of moved. I seem to be in a kind of a haze. Never mind. I'll see what this looks like. So I've started, and we went and we stitched. It was a workshop for the day, and it was to stitch Miss Hazel. These are very addictive. Very addictive. Isn't she lovely? Gorgeous. I'm not sure if I'll do that, which is a kind of a, I think it's it just says it's a little heart. But in the kit you get you know, we got the little bag and the jute bag and the threads. You also got the fabric and the ribbon to finish the heart if you wanted to. And these are all the threads. All Weeks Dye Works. Gorgeous. Can you see? Yes, I feel like I'm in a bit of a smoke screen. So, well, is what it is. And husband will be wanting his dinner, which is a Charlie Bingham moussaka. I thought, I'm not cooking tonight. We can have a Charlie Bingham moussaka. And that's as much as I've done on it, which is not very much. I think on the day, because the day's lovely. It's from 10 till 3, and I only did about that much of the ear. And I came home and I was showing my daughter and showing my husband. They both said the same thing. Is that all you've done? And I thought, well, yes, but the whole point is to go and you're talking and you're meeting people. Oh, it's just lovely. And I'm going back to do the Reynard in July the 11th, the Reynard workshop. And I've booked myself on the sugar workshop, the Christmas crackers workshop in October. But I've messaged Sarah to say that I bought the sugar pattern when I was there for this workshop. So I'm going to do, I think, a blizzard. So it's kind of, because the sugar is a skunk with a Christmas jumper on. So I'm kind of keeping with the theme by doing blizzard. So that's it. The only other thing I'll share with you is what I've been reading, and well, what I'm reading at the moment. Where's it gone? It was here. Oh, is it? It's there. Honestly. And it's this book. Now, it's from the library. And it's a new book. It's a new publication. And it's called The Eighths by Joanna Miller. And it is really good. And it's 1920, and it's 4 women going to Oxford when women were permitted to go to Oxford University. They weren't allowed to matriculate. They didn't matriculate, but they could study. And these 4 women, they come from quite different backgrounds. One is from quite a wealthy background, who drove ambulances during the war. One is a vicar's daughter, and one is just there's Ottoline, Beatrice, Marianne, and Dora. And I know, I was reading, I looked it up because I thought, I wonder if they're based on the character like Ottoline Morrell, who was part of the Bloomsbury group. Dora Carrington, the artist. I don't think it is though, and it's not Ottoline Morrell. It's not. This Ottoline comes from quite a different background. Still a privileged background, but a different one. And I thought Beatrice might be Beatrice Webb, who was involved with Somerville College in Oxford, and the Fabian Society. And Marianne, I wasn't quite sure there wasn't that wasn't familiar to me. But anyway, it's not. They're the Eights, and the Eights, it's the corridor they're on in St Hugh's at Oxford. That was a bit of a tangled description, but it is really good. It's really good. It's just I just want to read it. I just want to read it. I want to turn the pages all the time. It's a lovely read. I've only just started it, but I shall take that away with me. Now that's what I call living dangerously, is taking your library books abroad. I shall guard it with my life, bring it back. So I think I will finish it there. Sorry, I haven't wobbled the camera. I've got you balanced on my chair. I just this. I'm on my comfy chair, but I'm perched. It's a very low chair. It's gorgeously comfortable, but it's very low, so I'm kind of perched. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I've had some new, every time I podcast I get some new subscribers. It's absolutely lovely, and thank you very much. And I need to reply to the comments from the last podcast, and I'm a bit tardy on that, and I do apologize, but I will go back and answer them. Well, acknowledge them. I don't think there are any questions. They're just lovely comments. Thank you so much. And I'm hopefully going to come back in the next couple of weeks. I don't know how much footage I'll take in Verona or how much I'm able to do, but you never know, there might be an odd photo. I've gone back to my Instagram account, and I'm the kitchen knitter on Instagram, and I'm just posting very random photographs now and again. So there might be a few from Verona. Anyway, with that, I shall wish you an arrivederci, and I will see you soon. Bye.